I didn't post a video last week because I didn't feel motivated. It's like I'm lazy like that. I think we all go through that every so often. I think it's normal, but you still gotta push yourself and inspire yourself to keep going. So in this video, I want to share with you guys 8 things that I feel like are the reason why we get so lazy and why we become unmotivated, whether that be in business, finding the career, or having a successful life, or as a student, just doing your work, a project, a homework, you know what I mean? One of the biggest things that keeps us unmotivated and lazy is social media. We all know that. You know that. You scroll through that platform like there's no tomorrow. You're so intrigued of what's going on with your friend's life. You're so intrigued of what the actress' new boyfriend is. What's the latest gadget? We get hypnotized to stay on the platform as long as possible. And that's what these companies do, right? But by doing that, there's a tendency for us to get jealous. And the majority of us are probably on denial, right? That we're jealous. Or we get curious of what other people are doing with their lives. When was the last time your best friend went on a trip? Or your other friend just bought a new house? Your other friend is so successful, and look what kind of car they got now. Look, check out the new purse they got. That gets in our head and we feel a little bit of envy from those people, right? And the funny thing is, we don't realize that a majority of these people show off what they have, where they went, what they got, where they're at in life. They show off the best versions of themselves. Not show off in a cocky way. Maybe they don't mean to, right? Some people don't really brag about it. It's just that the tendency for them to show it off is because they're proud of it. Some people don't intentionally brag it to show off to other people. And that's what these platforms do. But when we stay on those platforms and we keep scrolling, that envy, the jealousy, it goes in the back of our mind. We keep asking ourselves, oh, how did they get there? How did they do that? How did they get that? Instead of actually stop scrolling or minimize it at least and start working on yourself. Start putting goals. Start working on yourself. Start carving that path to where you are going to get successful, to where you're going to be able to afford that luxury bag, that luxury trip, that new home. Instead of just wasting your time and just watching other people's lives, work on yourself, improve yourself. And it's not only about the success, right? You could also improve your health, improve your eating habits, go get some exercise, right? There's so many other things we could do with our lives instead of just scrolling on social media. A lot of times we're also not motivated because we're stuck at a job that we hate. This is the social norm. This is what society tells us that we have to do, right? We have to work to a job that pays bills. This pays the bills. But I think things are turning around lately, the last decade or so, where a lot of people are finding ways to find a job that they do enjoy doing and at the same time making money out of it. Why do you think some people are able to make millions of dollars and they're unhappy? And yet there's people that are making minimum wage and they're so happy. It's all internal, controlling your emotions, finding a reason to be grateful, enjoying the small things in life, And a lot of times it's also a delay of gratification, right? You keep working on things and eventually you'll get there. All I'm saying is you don't have to be stuck at that job that you truly hate or doing the things that you truly hate, just like homework. There's always something positive in every situation. When it comes to school, hey, think about it. Once you graduate, you're probably free. But also, you also got to think about that education right now. You don't have to go to the traditional route, right? There's so many ways to learn new things, new ideas, ways to make money online, the faster and the easier ways, right? You don't have to spend 4 years to do something. There are much faster ways now. I mean, of course, if you're going to be a lawyer, if you're going to be an accountant, those things you do have to go to school for. An architect, engineer, right? Those kinds of jobs, you have to go to school for it. But maybe in the future, you don't have to. But at the same time, if you're just going to those kinds of career just because that's what your parents wanted you to do, I'm telling you, you're gonna be stuck. You're gonna feel lazy a lot of times, and you're gonna feel unmotivated most of the times. So find something that you will somewhat enjoy. Now, don't get me wrong, there's still gonna be days where you're gonna be lazy and unmotivated. But for the most part, you feel like getting up to go to work if you enjoy the type of job that you do. So the third thing that makes us unmotivated in life is feeling that we don't have control over our lives, when in fact we have total control of our life. We need to make our own decisions. We have to control our own emotions. We have to carve our own path in life. Now, it's not always going to be the right way. Now, it's not always going to be the perfect direction, the perfect roadmap. There's no such thing. There's going to be flaws. There's going to be turns. We just have to learn to adapt. We have to learn to figure things out. Also, sometimes we just got to accept our faults. Take responsibility for what's going on in our life. Instead of complaining and whining about it, figure it out. Find a solution to straighten up your life. I know I make it sound so simple, but it's just that mindset shift. And you just got to keep reminding yourself that, hey, I have to adapt, I have to learn, I have to figure things out. So our fourth reason why we get unmotivated and lazy, I want to go back to about the social media. We feel like we should have accomplished more by now. We usually feel defeated, helpless, and discouraged, especially when we don't accomplish or reach the goals we were expecting to reach. When we see other people accomplishing high goals, they're so wealthy, they're so rich, they're so happy, we envy that. And we feel like, why is that not happening to me? Why is that not happening to my life? But if you think about it, as long as you keep moving forward, you will not see the results immediately. You will see the results near the end. Don't expect the results to happen immediately. Enjoy the process. Enjoy the steps you gotta take to get to your goal. When we think of challenging ourselves all the time, I feel more motivated doing that, because it's a new puzzle. Instead of saying, oh my gosh, another problem, I look at it as, wow, a new problem to solve. That's great. It's another challenge for me to conquer. We gotta sometimes pause, be more present. I feel like we're such in a rush to get to where we want to go that we don't enjoy, just like doing a trip. We're so excited. Let's say you go on a family trip. You're so excited to get to wherever you're going. But we don't take the time to seize the moment and enjoy the airplane ride, the airport, the taxi ride, the views, even going to the airport, the people that we meet along the way. We don't slow down and enjoy these moments. And I think it's crucial for us to focus more on these little moments instead of just focusing on the outcome. That's just my thinking, So for number 5, we set unrealistic goals. But when we do that, it's like, and we don't accomplish that goal, we get disappointed. I think it's better that we set small goals so it's easier for us to achieve it, right? Because it's small enough that it's achievable in a small amount of time. Even on the daily goals, you make a goal that you'll do 2-3 things in one day. And when you get that goals accomplished, you get those goals done, you feel good about it. And you move on to the next goal. Next thing you know, after a year, after a few months, you'll be so surprised what you've accomplished. Instead of having such a big goal. Have an idea of that big goal, but put that aside in the back of your mind. Set small goals. I feel like that's more achievable. So for number 6, going back to the focus, we usually focus only on the possibility of failure. You ever notice that? You have a dream business idea. The moment that you get that idea, you start thinking of what could happen. How am I gonna make so much money? This business idea is so great. Just imagine all the things I could buy. You know, when this business idea clicks, I will make so much money. I will be able to go travel the world. I'll be able to buy all these things. But the moment that idea fades, you start thinking of the negative things. And that happens very quick. You start thinking, oh my gosh, how am I gonna do this? Oh, that's too hard. Oh my gosh, all that work and effort I gotta put into it, all the time it takes to get this business idea running, that's too much work. And then of course, you get that idea and just throw it away, right? How often has that happened when you think of an idea like that and years gone by, you see somebody else do it, right? I've had that issue so many times. And I feel like that negative thought holds us back. We never go through it, and we never take that step to move forward to get that business idea running. That sucks, because you're gonna keep holding yourself back. You're gonna, instead of moving forward, you're taking one step forward and you're taking 3 steps backwards. That's what's happening. If you let those negative thoughts, negative ideas hold you back, remember that. And that's an important lesson to learn. One thing to hold back on that is you gotta dream of what's possible. Take those small steps. Start moving forward. You'll never know which direction you're going. Like I said, you have to have an idea of your end goal. But take those small steps, take those small ideas, put them all together, start working on it. Like what I'm doing right now, right? I have a full-time job, but I do these videos. Let's say I record the video today, and then tomorrow I'll edit one video, and then I record another video. You know, it doesn't have to be every day, but you take those small steps, like even the thumbnail, the editing, all those things, you don't have to do it in one day. Like I said, make small goals, take small steps, and eventually you get at least close to where your goal post is. Now to me, number 7, this is the biggest thing that keeps me unmotivated and lazy, is when your life is unbalanced. You know, the time when you're stressed, you got so much things going on in your mind. You got problems here, problems there, problems everywhere. For me, this is the hardest thing I have to overcome. A majority of the time, we stay inside. We don't want to talk to nobody. We don't want to see anybody. We don't want to do anything. But I think that when we feel depressed, we feel stressed, we feel unmotivated, this is actually the perfect time for you to go outside, get some fresh air, go for a walk, start moving, exercise, meet people, meet friends, meet family. This is the perfect time to be doing that, because people will keep you entertained. They will distract you from your stress. They will distract you from your problems. Sometimes even I find like talking to strangers is a good way to release those stress. People that you don't know, people that you know you'll never meet again. To me, I exercise a lot. That's where I take out all my stress, all my anger. When I do that push-up and I'm already tired, my 100th push-up, I push it some more, and that's when I release all that anger, all that stress. And then once I get through that, I get back to it. Now I take the steps and I work on my goals. Sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do, right? You just gotta figure out what works for you, what's the best thing to do for you. We're all different, right? Last but not least, number 8, you lack the confidence in yourself. You don't believe in yourself. You don't believe that you can do it. But I think this is actually quite simple. What I do is I start listening to motivational videos, inspirational videos. I motivate myself. I know a lot of people don't believe in those kinds of things, but I find that to me, it works. You subconsciously consume positive beliefs. And by doing that, you're encouraging your mindset, you're encouraging your subconscious mind to be positive. And I think that helps you get you motivated to move forward, start working on your goals. And I think that's one thing that, you know, a lot of people now are so pessimists and they don't believe in that kind of stuff. They don't believe in like Tony Robbins. They think that's kind of BS stuff, right? But to each his own. To me, that works. I'm hoping that for the people listening right now, I hope you find a reason to actually listen to these kinds of positive and most motivational videos, because it helps. It makes a difference. I consume a lot of these things before I sleep, and sometimes when I'm at work, sometimes when I'm driving, I listen to these kinds of motivational and inspirational videos or podcasts or audiobooks. Meditating also helps, right? You meditate with affirmations in your head, makes a difference. I think that helps too. The one thing I tell myself all the time is I count 1 to 3. You know, when you're so lazy, let's just say exercising. You get out of bed, you brush your teeth, you get ready, and you sit back down and scroll on your phone. I immediately say to myself, I'm gonna go exercise. 1, 2, 3, and just get up. Just get up. Put on that shoe, put on that shorts, put on that shirt, and just go. Start stretching, start, doing some jumping jacks, start moving your body. I find like moving your body really, really helps. It gets you going, it gets you motivated. And once you get that, you start stretching. Next thing you know, you're exercising. It's that first few minutes. It's so crucial that, you gotta just flip it, just do it. And when you do that, next thing you know, you're actually exercising. You're actually working on your goal. You're actually doing the things that you need to be doing. Yeah, count 1 to 3. It really, really helps. Another thing I think people wait for is when they're at the point of no return. They wait till they have no choice. That's the thing that gets us motivated big time. Like for me, I kept getting my gout and I couldn't stand the pain anymore. I consistently kept getting gout every month, every 2 months, every 3 months or so. And the pain is just so unbearable and I didn't want to get no more gout. And I think that's the thing that pushed me to actually work out consistently. But why do we have to wait for that point of no return? Why can't we just do it? We should practice, make it a habit to actually just move forward consistently. Like I said, just count 1 to 3 and just do it. Don't wait for that moment where you must do it, because that's where it could go both ways, man. It could be a moment where you just give up and just say, F it, I'm going downhill from here. Or F it, I'm actually gonna start really doing this because I cannot handle going back to where I was at. We don't need to wait for that moment to happen. Start working on yourself. Start doing the things that you need to do. We all have problems. We all have issues. We all get lazy. But you have to find out why you gotta do things. Find the reason to do it. And I think if you keep reminding yourself that, you'll eventually start convincing yourself, make it a habit to actually work on whatever you need to do. One of the key important thing for me is don't have a fixed goal in mind. You gotta remember that it could go any direction. It could go to failure. You just gotta get back up and work on it again. Have a variable goal. It's basically a moving target. You gotta remind yourself, you gotta be able to adapt, make a change, accept the issues, accept the problems. And when you do that, you challenge yourself more. Challenge yourself to just keep going at it. I know it could be difficult, but you have to keep reminding yourself your why. You gotta keep reminding yourself that target, that goal, and the rewards that you can get when you've reached that target. The things that you're looking forward in life, you gotta keep in mind and you gotta motivate yourself to get to that destination. But at the same time, you also gotta enjoy the process. Here's one thing to keep in mind. A person that enjoys walking will walk further than a person that's gonna want to walk from point A to point B. Let me repeat that. I want you to get this in your head. A person that enjoys walking will walk further than a person that wants to walk only from point A to point B. Think about that. Remind yourself that. That way, you will start to enjoy the process and get encouraged and maybe lessen your laziness. Find a motivation to get through your day and just keep going. Find a way. You get there. It ain't easy, but you'll get there.